Hello again, this is another Transformers review. This one was sort of requested again by Waspshot23. He originally asked for the original 3 Insecticons, and I did say that I do the deluxes. Now this is one of the deluxes. This is Ransack. Now he was a US and maybe Japanese release only. I don't think they brought him out in the UK or in Europe. As you can see, he's like a grasshopper or a locust or some other insect similar to that. It's a good insect mould. The front legs don't really have a lot of articulation, but you do need them to be rigid for supporting the body weight. Rear legs have got a reasonable bit of articulation, so you can pose those. Nice coloration. It would have been nice if he had a little bit of chrome like the original Insecticons, but these deluxes did appear on some of the box art, and they're sort of nice general figures, slightly bigger than the original 3, a little bit more to them, quite fiddly. And one thing I would stress is you do really have to be careful with these. If you pick any up, or if you've got any of yours originally from, you know, when you was a kid, they do get very brittle. And it's not quite in the same line as the gold plastic syndrome, but they do suffer with weakness in the plastic, so you do have to be careful with them. Now I'll show you a few features. I mean, he's got his folding clear orange wings there. His sort of main head, I don't know if I bring that into the camera so you can see it. It's a reasonable mould. It's not very detailed, but it's got red eyes there. Also the insect head, obviously, with red eyes on the side, a good antenna on there. I'll transform him now. Now the basic sort of parts of his transformation are underneath there. You can see the main metal part that holds all his body together. You swivel these two end pieces round to form his chest under his chin there. Now the arms are sprung loaded fists, and there's a small bit of movement you've got to pull down as you bring these out. You can see the fist popped out then. Now these can be very tight, and this is one of the points where you've got to be careful with them, because there's that awful feeling you're going to snap something off. Just move the leg out of the way slightly. That's the only problem with the sprung loaded hand, that's it. It does make it a little bit of a pain to get it out. Now bring the arm out and up, and you see the forearm slid slightly down there, and then you bend it there, and that creates the shoulder joint. Now the one real flaw with this character is that these arms have no forward articulation, so although you can swing them out and again make the shoulder and swivel his insect legs round, he's got no movement to aim his arms forward, so you can't physically sort of point his weapons at anybody or anything like that. It makes the play sort of side of him a little bit restricted, because he can only just stand around really on guard. Next part you got to do is push his abdomen up into his chest there. That creates his main body. Now with his legs, you've got to swing the insect part. That's it. Let's get the revolve the black part, and then swing his foot out of the bottom. It's a bit of a tight fit on some of these little joints. Swing his insect leg back in, and that creates a heel spur, so then effectively you've got his leg. Now what you've got to do is hinge his arm out the way and push his hip up, and that creates the right position there for his hip to be up against the body. And do the same with this one. swing the black part down and swing his main foot out, and then bring the insect one up to join it, and then bring that down. Bring the arm out and push those joints up. Now you can see what I mean about his arm articulation. That's it. It's such a shame because I thought they might have done it that it would move down, because it does move. I'll just get this out. Camera, this is very stiff, and again this is where I'm scared because I don't want to break it. That's it. Now it just pulls down slightly there on that. I don't know if you can make that out, a little pin. It's just a sliding joint, but that is it. That's all his articulation in his arms is just literally to flap them up and down. And it's such a shame because if he could have aimed them forward, he would have been able to hold weapons and had a lot more playware. As a figure sort of for display, and that is very nice, you know, Decepticon logo on his chest with the rub sign. Quite neat, you know, not a lot of kibble really, apart from the legs, like the front insect legs there, but generally a nice figure. Now, where I was looking at this earlier, the actual pistol grip had snapped off his gun. I've had to sort of just quickly glue that back on. Again, the plastic's getting brittle, so carefully just stick that back in. And somewhere along the line, the pin for his shield, which would hold in his hand over that side, has come off at some point over the years. That's a shame, but I might be able to rig something up so you can still hold that. But that is the main gripe with these. All of the deluxes do suffer a bit with brittle plastic. Doesn't matter what colour, they're very small sort of spindly joints on some of the legs and some of the fittings, and you often do see sort of a lot of damaged ones for sale. And it's something definitely to bear in mind if you do buy any of them. Other than that though, you know, if you really want to collect all of the Insecticons, I would sort of recommend them. They're a nice G1 sort of sideline that we never really got in the UK, and they did appear on a lot of the box art. I've got a box from one of the other Insecticons there, and you can actually see, if I bring that in and angle that, where you've got the original Insecticons like kick back there, you do have in the background all of the deluxes taking part in the battles. I don't know if you can, if I bring that down a little bit, you can see, you know, they are like mentioned and sort of like that in a lot of the drawings on the box art. Yeah, only recently it became that they were in one of the IDW comic books. So I think they've missed a trick. They would have done well if they'd been in the cartoon series, but again, it's just one of those sort of offshoot figures what never really appears in the cartoons. I hope you enjoyed that, Ben. I will be doing another one in a second with the figure of Barrage, and I'll see you again soon.